Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Gabby and welcome to my strange little YouTube channel. Now today's video we have another vintage and vanished case. If you are new to my channel, I have a series on my channel called Vintage and Vanished where I go over vintage cases of people who have mysteriously vanished. Today we are talking about the case of Nicole Morin. This was a little 8-year-old girl, and you guys know that child cases are just, there's just something different to them. It is just heartbreaking because, like I say in other videos, being an adult, there's more of a chance for you to escape during an abduction. You know, you're more mentally developed to be able to try to figure it out, even though sometimes you're unable to. But with a child, the chances of getting away from an abductor or getting out of a situation like that is just so slim, and that is why it is just so devastating. This case is 32 years old and it still remains unsolved. So with that being said, let's just get into it. Nicole Morin was born April 1st, 1977 to parents Art and Jeanette Morin. On July 30th, 1985, the 8-year-old was at home in her mother's penthouse apartment at 627 the West Mall in Toronto, Canada. Now on this day, Nicole was going to meet one of her friends down in the lobby of the apartment, and they were going to go to the pool in the back of the apartment. Now from her front door to the lobby, nobody knows how far she made it, but she completely vanished. Nicole's friend waited a little while and Nicole never showed up, so her friend decided to simply go to the pool for a little bit by herself and wait there to see if she ever came. Now at this time, Nicole's mother was operating a daycare out of her apartment. So a little bit of time went by and she realized that Nicole had not come home. Hours went by and she knew that Nicole should have been back by now, and she knew that something was very wrong. No one saw Nicole at the pool and Nicole never came home. Nicole's mother phoned the police and she was reported missing. Now something that I have to mention in this case that is very strange and very fishy, and it doesn't make any sense at all, and definitely let me know what you think down below in the comments about this, but there were 2 reenactment videos made about this case and what happened the day that Nicole went missing. One of those was made in 2007 and one of those was made in 2014. Now the first reenactment that was made in 2007 is very different from the one that was made in 2014. The first one had Nicole's friend living somewhere else and she came to the apartment and she phoned up to Nicole and Nicole buzzed her into the lobby. Nicole told her friend that she was going to be right down, and then she never made it to the lobby, and Nicole's friend waited for about 15 minutes, phoned Nicole's mother, and Nicole's mother didn't act that surprised and told her that possibly she got sidetracked and did something else, and then Nicole's friend decided to just go to the pool. And then a few hours went by and Nicole's mother realized that they weren't back and that her daughter had not come home and phoned the police. The second reenactment, made in 2014, had a completely different story, that Nicole's friend actually lived in the apartment, and web sleuths looked into this and supposedly this friend lived on the 7th floor. Nicole talked to her friend on the phone and they both agreed to meet down in the lobby. Nicole's friend made it to the lobby, Nicole wasn't there, she waited a few minutes and then decided to just go to the pool. And a few hours went by, her mother realized that she hadn't come home and then phoned the police. This is very weird to me that these 2 reenactments were made 7 years apart. The police had been working on this case years and years and years. They knew the details, they knew what happened, and these are completely different. These are big differences in these reenactments, whether the friend lived in the apartment or lived elsewhere and was dropped off by a parent, and whether Nicole actually made it to the lobby or never made it to the lobby. Like, this doesn't make any sense. With the weeks and months following, Nicole's face was plastered on every magazine and newspaper in the area, and this case would be one of Toronto's most popular. Like many parents, Nicole's parents tried to never lose hope. There are so many cases out there where children are missing for years and years and years, and they finally come home, and they really tried to never give up on that idea. Nicole's mother actually kept her room the exact same it was the day that she disappeared because she had hopes that her daughter would come back. This case is truly a complete mystery. Police were put on high alert looking for this little girl. They searched the surrounding areas on foot, in car, on horseback, in aircraft. Hundreds upon hundreds of people helped in the search, and she simply just disappeared. This case just put fear in so many people, especially parents. There are so many missing persons cases out there where there is a slight chance or there is a theory that they just ran away. That is just completely ruled out with this case. this little girl was abducted. At first, there were a few people of interest, but they were completely ruled out, and there were no legitimate suspects in this case still to this day. It is suspected that the person who took Nicole is somebody who lived at one of the apartments, was somebody visiting somebody that they knew who lived at one of the apartments, or it was somebody who worked in the apartment building, was a worker of this apartment and came in to do their daily job. It is also suspected that it's somebody who lived in one of the apartments who had their eye on Nicole. Nobody knows who this could have been, but possibly they saw her alone and took this opportunity. One Reddit user brought up a good theory, saying possibly someone in the apartment who knew her and she trusted saw her on the elevator saying something along the lines of, "Oh, you're going swimming, I would like to join, I just have to go get my swimsuit," and Nicole proceeded to follow them to their apartment. On July 29th, 2014, police let people know that they were opening back up this case and they were looking into it, and they actually got a tip from somebody who called back in 1985. So police started looking around the Springwater Township area near Barrie. The search went on for a couple of days and involved using ground penetrating radar and cadaver dogs, and Detective Cashman said that they stopped the search in the area because they did as thorough a job as they could and they came up with nothing. There was actually a point in their search where one of the cadaver dogs came onto something and they used the ground penetrating radar and they started digging up that area and they found nothing. One police officer who had a great connection to this case was Detective Melissa Elashchuk. Melissa was a year younger than Nicole and lived in the same apartment building. Both were very close friends, walking to school every day together and played outside often. At the time of Nicole's disappearance, Melissa was in Portugal. Her and Nicole would go to the pool often together, and Nicole's disappearance never stopped haunting her. She says that her disappearance really took a toll on everybody who knew Nicole. Nicole was a very sweet girl. She just wanted to be friends with everybody, and it especially haunts her because it could have been her. It could have been any other child in this apartment building. Nicole's mother passed away in 2007, but she never lost hope. She thought that her daughter may have been murdered, but she thought that they would eventually find her remains somewhere, that they would be able to bury her and give her the proper burial. Out of everybody, the person that holds the most hope is definitely Nicole's father. I mean, he still to this day believes that she may still come back home. One strange thing that really keeps hope alive for him is that Nicole's mother was actually previously married before she married him, and she had a son with her ex-husband, and her son was taken away by her ex-husband, and she did not see her son for 15 years. Her son randomly, after 15 years, showed up at her doorstep. I mean, for like 2 seconds, think about this. Like, Nicole's mother had 2 children that vanished and she had no idea what happened to them. And one of them came back after 15 years, and one of them, she died not knowing what happened to them. This is the thing that really kept hope alive for Art, that Nicole would someday come back. He says that he never lost hope and waits for the day Nicole shows up at his doorstep as well. It has been 32 years, but police urge anybody who might know anything about the disappearance of Nicole Morin to please call either the Toronto Police Department at 416-808-2222 or Crime Stoppers at 416-222-8477. At the time of her disappearance, Nicole had brown hair, brown eyes, was 4 feet tall, and weighed 51 pounds. She was wearing a one-piece bathing suit with 2 stripes going across it, a green headband, red canvas shoes, carrying a peach-colored blanket and a purple towel. This case is just so odd because you have to think about it that her mother figured that she was just down playing at the pool, so she gave her a few hours. So from the time that Nicole disappeared to the time that her mother knew that she was supposed to be home, there was hours that went by that this person could have abducted her and taken her elsewhere. Those first few hours are crucial in a police investigation. And as I was going over this case, I found it so weird that she was going from the 20th floor down to the lobby. It would be completely different if she started in the lobby and was going to the 20th floor, because then somebody could have started at the lobby with her and then taken her to their apartment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could have snatched her up while they were in the elevator going up and then got off at their floor instead of hers. So I think that if somebody abducted her from the elevator, that they were getting on their floor, saw nobody in the hallway, and they saw this little girl in the elevator by herself, snatched her up, and brought her back to their apartment. And if it was somebody working at the hotel, I don't know how thorough they were with keeping track of all the workers, but if somebody was working at the hotel and snatched her up and left with her, then how would the people working at the hotel who was supposed to be in charge of the workers or working with them not realize that they just mysteriously left work at like 11 a.m. I know that during their investigation, police did go door to door and ask people, but I don't think that they went inside of people's apartments and really looked around. And I think that that was a big mess up in this case. Obviously, the person who abducted her knew that the police were going to get involved eventually, so they must have taken her elsewhere, which is just so confusing to me that there's so many people in this apartment building and nobody saw anything. There was one witness who came forward saying that they saw Nicole in the lobby waiting for her friend, which doesn't make sense to me because if she was waiting for her friend down the lobby, her friend, they both left at the same time, so her friend would have been there sooner than she would have because her friend was on the 7th floor. And if somebody was going to abduct Nicole in the lobby, why would they do it in an area where there's the most traffic? Like, somebody would have saw something. This case is just so confusing. It's like nothing adds up, like nothing makes any sense. And especially, like I mentioned before, the fact that both reenactments are completely different. In my mind and most people's minds, the second reenactment is definitely what happened if I had to put my money on it. The first one is not what happened. I don't think her friend lived elsewhere. I think her friend lived in the apartment and that they were going to both meet down in the lobby, and then her friend saw that she wasn't in the lobby and decided to go to the pool, see if she was there, and just hang out there and just wait for her. It probably wasn't odd to Nicole's friend, like a little kid, that their friend wasn't there waiting for them because going to the pool was just something they did every day. Like, it wouldn't have been a big deal if she wasn't there, like even though she was supposed to be there, because just going down to the pool, they did that all the time. My heart truly goes out to Nicole's friends and family, and especially her parents. I mean, could you imagine going to and living in the apartment building where your daughter went missing, and you know that somebody who came into that apartment building, or somebody that lives in your apartment building, somebody that you might talk to daily, abducted your daughter? I don't know about you guys, but that would seriously drive me absolutely insane. Like, this case is just so heartbreaking, and I definitely believe that this case can still be solved. I think that somebody out there knows something, and I say that about every case, but it's true. Somebody knows something. Definitely let me know down below in the comments what your thought is about this case and what you think possibly happened. Definitely leave a comment, because I'm always down below in the comments conversing with you guys and discussing these topics. I don't just make these videos because I just want to get my face around YouTube or something. Like, I'm genuinely interested in these cases, and it means a lot to me when people are also. Make sure to thumbs up this video, because when you thumbs up a video on YouTube and you comment and you're active on it, it gets the video spread around. And of course, I want these cases with as much traffic as possible, so somebody who might have seen something or seen her somewhere can possibly come forward. I love you guys so much. Leave me any recommendations down below in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.